Out your fingers.
So the topic that I'm going to address right now is following thoughts to their source. What does that mean? What does that even mean? And how do you do it? So following thoughts to their source. Now, there's a famous question in philosophy that asks, can one think without language? But I'm going to simplify the matter and ask, can one think without words? And this question comes up when one is thinking about babies, and before they develop their capacity to communicate or the capacity for language, one wonders, can they still think? So I want you to try an experiment right now and try to think without having any words pop into your mind. Do that now. So did you do it? Were you able to do it? Were you able to think without words? So here's what happens. If you pay attention to the subtle things that happen in your mind, you'll realize that before the thoughts break in, you have this inspiration. First comes the inspiration, and it's almost like these thoughts are a reaction to this inspiration. And what ends up happening, this is a problem because that voice, it's kind of detaches you from directly experiencing that inspiration. It distracts you from that inspiration. So it kind of distracts you from experiencing that reality as it is. And it's like, for example, like you feel something inside of you, and before you're able to fully appreciate that feeling, your voice breaks in and it kind of evaluates, it kind of judges what you should do or what that feeling really means or how you feel, and it tells you how you feel and it tells you this and that, and now you have thoughts, and now you're paying attention to the thoughts instead of paying attention to that feeling. And this becomes relevant in my project because as I described the experience that I had in November 15th of 2018, I described that my mind became completely clear, and as my mind became clear, I felt waves of sensation going back and forth in my head, and as they became lighter, my mind became clearer and clearer. And I've been finding out, as I'm going through my journey, I've been finding out what those waves were. And in an effort to increase my perception and to clear my mind, I'm trying to experience this inspiration, feel this inspiration before the thoughts break in and without the thoughts breaking in. So I've been trying to figure out a way how to do that, and I figured something out. This is following thoughts to their source. I will explain that right now. So have you ever gone off into a train of thoughts, or been daydreaming, or maybe even having a conversation with somebody, and you go from one topic, and you go from that topic, and you go to another topic, and another topic, and then another topic, and then you ask yourself, wait, why are we talking about this, or why am I thinking about this? So a game that I've always played with myself, like throughout my life, is when I get to something, I always wonder, wait, how did it lead to that? And I try to follow back to the original inspiration that led to that topic. So for example, one morning you're eating a peanut butter sandwich, right? And as you're eating this peanut butter sandwich, you start thinking about that song that you used to sing in preschool, the song that goes peanut butter and jelly, peanut butter and jelly. So you start thinking about that song, and you start reminiscing about preschool and all the friends that you had there, and you start missing your friends, and you lost touch with a lot of them, and you start wondering, I wonder where they are in life. I wonder what they're doing right now, if they're still alive, or maybe they had a career, or maybe they have a family, or maybe they're homeless, So you start thinking about like all these things that could have happened in their life, and because you're thinking about career paths, now you're thinking about the game of life, the board game, and now you start thinking about different types of board games, like your favorite board game, like Monopoly, and you start thinking about Clue. And now that you're thinking about Clue, now you start thinking about murder mysteries, and you catch yourself and you stop yourself and you say, wait, why am I thinking about murder mysteries? And if you try to trace your thoughts back, you'll find, okay, I'm thinking about murder mysteries. Well, there's a game named Clue. Okay, I was thinking about the board game. Wait, why was I thinking about the board game Clue? It's because I was thinking about the board games. And what was I thinking about board games? Well, because I was thinking about life and all the lives and the career paths that one can take. And what was I thinking about? Oh, because I was thinking about my friends back in preschool and wondering about how they were. Wait, why was I thinking about preschool? Oh, because in preschool we used to sing that song Peanut Butter, or because I'm eating the peanut butter sandwich. Okay, okay. You can even trace it back even further and say, wait, why am I eating this peanut butter sandwich? Oh, because I was hungry this morning and I came to the kitchen, and I saw the peanut butter jar right now. Oh, why was I feeling hungry in the morning? So you see, like every thought, every train of thought can be traced back to a sensation that you have. So that's kind of the game that you play with yourself. And because I play a lot of that with myself, I was able to follow thoughts back to their source. So when you're trying to clear your mind, when you're trying to meditate, when you're trying to keep your mind clear, you realize that some of the sensations that you had, they kind of distract you from feeling it. They either lead you to think of things, or they lead you to do things, right? And they make you want to do things. That's the first problem. The first problem is that you get distracted from them. But the second problem is that what you do after you get distracted. So what you do here is, instead of getting rid of those thoughts, instead of like saying no, throwing it away and starting all over again, you want to follow those thoughts back to their source, to the original sensation, to the original inspiration that inspired those thoughts, that led to those thoughts. Why? Because if you don't address those sensations will always be a distraction every time they come up. So you want to follow those thoughts back to their source, back to the source sensation, so that then you can experience that sensation and say, okay, this is the sensation that distracted me. I'm feeling it right now, I'm feeling it fully. I don't need to, when I feel this, I don't need to stray away from it, right? And the other thing that this will do is that now you will be able to experience reality as it is. Experience the sensations as they come up. And one of the things that you'll experience, once the voice is gone, you will be able to experience the thoughts, you will be able to recognize the direct control that you have always had over your thoughts and emotions. You know, some people believe that they don't have control over the thoughts, or that they can't control their emotions. But once you get rid of the voice, you'll feel like these emotions that come up and these thoughts that come up, like you have direct control over them. So that also increases your sense of self-control when you feel that direct control over your emotions. You know, when you're lost in the labyrinth of your thoughts, of your train of thoughts, if you look beyond the labyrinth, you'll see the whole labyrinth itself.